evening, freaks. I'm here to drop in with all of you and check into the vibe of this Libra new moon that we just entered into a couple hours ago, a little over a couple hours ago. Just edging on up there to 6 p.m. out here, just outside of Detroit. And we're also going to do some tarot and whatever else calls to be read. We'll just see. We're going to flow with it. This is being broadcasted live, but it is pre-recorded. Okay. I find that I can get distracted when I'm really in the flow of something if I'm paying attention to the comments. So I'm very mindful about when I actually am live, but I am here in the comments section, on the live chat. So please feel free if you have a question or something to, just ask. I'm there, I'm listening. And I will respond to you in the live chat because I like to watch the playback with all of you and be there to move through the energy with you. I will say though, I don't answer personal questions on these videos. I don't answer personal questions on lives. If you want a personal, you can always send me an email at BroadCoven@gmail.com. That's how I book. It's the only way I book. I don't book any other way. All right. I don't book any other way. You have to email me. So we're going to dive into these energies, but I wanted to talk a bit about this Libra new moon that came in, and I want to say happy solar return to all the Libra Sun natives. I'm celebrating with you. I'm a fellow Libra, and I am so feeling the energy coming in here. I think you all are too. We're really getting ready to step into a more festive time in our lives. Let's say that. I'm really feeling that for the Libra Sun Collective, and we're going to be diving into individual reads for each of the 12 signs. We're going to start it with Libra this round. This is the way I do it on this channel. The order we go in with all the 12 signs depends on whose birthday it is, okay? So last round it was Virgo, and this time Libra's first. That's the order the readings will come in. I'm going to do a separate video for that. I want to give each of you some really good, solid information to work with as you're moving through this lunar cycle, which is going to be with us clean through October 25th, okay? The energy that is building now will be playing out in your life until that October 25th when we have a solar eclipse, all right? So this is wrapping up a very important cycle, and I want you to feel optimistic because there's a lot of really, really cool energy building right now. There's a lot of opportunity on offer to claim a big prize. It's a grab bag, man, and it all depends on, how you play the game, all right? It's going to be an interesting time. There's going to be a lot of interesting stuff happening. Doesn't mean that there's not going to be challenges involved, right? We know that collective, there's always challenges, but we're going to get through it. There's not a lot of major aspects with this particular lunar cycle, with the exception of there is a challenging aspect to Jupiter, okay, which can overinflate things. I'll talk about that a little bit. The main thing we got going on is we got asteroid 346889 Rifinus is in the mix, okay? And Rifinus was one of the 12 spirit guards that was sent by Zeus, Jupiter, okay, to watch over Dionysus as an infant. And Vesta, known as the goddess of home and hearth, became very envious, very jealous of this, and turned them into centaurs with horns. I mean, Io, Pan, Dionysian energy, like, I mean, is that really a punishment? Is that really a punishment to have to be resigned to the satyr life? I don't know about that. I think that can be, I think it can be a good thing. It all depends on how you work with it, right? It's all how you move with that energy. So it's kind of like, yeah, well, the medicine, the medicine that we do need to take, collective, is going to go down with a spoonful of sugar, all right? It is going to bring a sweet spot, you know, something to be celebrated. And as corny as it sounds, some of that's going to be about really a personal triumph and overcoming some bullshit that you've been dragging around with you for far too long. And it's going to be such a point of celebration for you, like, man, I really did it. I did that work. I never thought I'd get beyond that. And you do. And it leads you to a brand new chapter in your life. Doesn't mean there won't be challenges necessarily to face or difficult things to close up or shit to work through, but we're going to work through it all together. And yeah, we're going to move through this together here. All right. We're going to just see what's coming in and what's in store. We also have black hole M80, what is it? I wrote it down. M87. M87. I didn't want to lose the numbers, you know, because I like to focus on the numbers. M87 is in direct line with this moon. So that's having an influence too, okay? We're going to talk about that. Those are really the two main things that are happening this lunar cycle. And of course, we still have the tail end of Mercury retrograde to deal with, which is going to be moving out of Libra and into Virgo, which opened up the last cycle. Okay, so we still got Virgo energy front and center. Also, we have to remember with the precession of the equinoxes that actually this new moon is technically, you know, would have been in Virgo, the constellation of Virgo. So we still have Virgo energy playing out very strongly. And I see also Vesta as a very Virgoian, you know, kind of energy. All right. So we have a lot of stuff coming in that's affecting home, but home, not only in where you lay down your roots, but also what does it mean to be at home? What does it feel like to be at home? Big, like Wizard of Oz energy, Dorothy searching for the home, searching for that place that she called home, but not realizing she had the power with her to just drop into that space all along. And for a lot of us, it's about coming back to home in our hearts. We've become severed from our hearts, from challenges we've faced, from all the time we've spent in that Pluto vibe, you know, just grappling with the shadow, dealing with past shit. Also, this big retrograde cycle, the Chiron and Aries cycle that was all about healing our deepest wounds, lots of childhood stuff coming up, people being activated, you activating others, you know, everybody being a mirror, which we're always mirrors for each other, but those mirrors have been really kind of distorted over the past couple of years, especially, you know, there's been a little bit of this illusory quality, a lot of this illusory quality in play. And that really got brought forward with the Pisces full moon we had in the last lunar cycle. So we're absorbing, you know, we're absorbing the truth that's come through, the true reflection that's come through beyond all the mists and veils. And we're starting to really see things as they are. We're also starting to see us as we are and aligning with our purpose, aligning with what feels right to us, our true direction at the end of the day. Now, with, you know, ripeness, there's this element in play that it's very much an energy of be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. You just might get it. Really think about what that means. What part of you is bringing forward this wish, this thing that you hope for? You know, this relationship, because relationships are so front and center, this relationship that you're wanting in your life, or this career direction you want to head in, or whatever your dream is right now. Whatever that thing is that when you're alone at night and you look up at the sky, you send it up to a star and dream of it coming true. You know, where is that dream coming from? Is it coming from being in alignment with your heart and with your integrity? Or does it require you to move in such a way where you're being untrue to yourself in order to get it? This is kind of the line of distinction that's going to be working through this lunar cycle. You have to think of it this way. Libra is that dichotomy, and Libra holds the balance of that. Libra is the ultimate devil's advocate. Libra is the iron fist in the velvet glove, a walking, talking contradiction. Libra is the only thing that is able to balance that, hold that, because we're also the only sign in the zodiac that is not actually a being. We're an object, an inanimate object, which means we're able to have that kind of emotional distance that allows us this objectivity to look at both sides. So this energy is really coming in. Can you be objective? Can you go beyond your usual dogmas, your usual perceptions of situations, your usual reactions? Can you sit in the center point? Can you play devil's advocate for a moment to that person who's across from you that's also reflecting something to you? If you don't like what you're seeing in the reflection, what you're seeing is something inside of you that's mirroring your shadow. And that's what's coming up for healing and transformation. Ted just said, yes, confirmation from the German Shepherd fetch, you know? Yeah, you know? It's like such an important piece. This is really such an important piece to have this awareness and not jump to this place of reactiveness and blame and kind of going after the other person, because we're really meant to move out of this energy right now. We're meant to close up these cycles. It requires that we have personal accountability for our part in situations, and that we take personal accountability for our happiness, for our well-being, for our fulfillment, that we don't rely on other people to provide that for us. We're being given an opportunity right now to step into that, to step into our happiness, to step into our fulfillment, to step into our soul's purpose. There's going to be a lot of people experiencing big, like, downloads at this time, opening up on a whole other level. There's going to be people who are going through such a deep personal evolution within themselves and these things that they've been integrating and moving through, that they're going to have a complete change in their life direction. They're going to align with the right people. There's a lot of kismet energy. There's a lot of new cast of characters coming in. These are like soul family. It's important. They're soul mates, all right? Soulmates aren't just, you know, someone that you dig and you want to get down with between the sheets. Soulmates are also important people that come into your life that you feel a sense of kindred with, that are there to ignite some spark in your soul that aligns you with the next train of destiny that's coming on through the station. You know, these are people that are going to be important in your life. They're going to be pivotal in your life. They're going to change the course of your direction. You're hopping onto a new timeline, you know? You're in dream space right now. We're all in dream space right now, and it's glamour, darling, glamour, you know? Sprinkle it on, you know, but just don't get deluded by your fantasies either. Keep your feet on the ground. It's about holding this place of balance right now. But we can't get away with this lack of acknowledgement of our role in situations, how we participate in the dance, and these unhealthy dynamics, these dysfunctional dynamics that occur in relationship. And as long as we stay in this place of division, we're really going to have problems moving forward. So it's not about saying that it's acceptable what you went through in some of your personal life situations, what you went through in your social circles, what you went through in your family, or that somebody doing you dirty is okay, it's cool. It's not saying any of that, but it is saying that I need to acknowledge, you know, the lessons that are here for me in this situation, because it's happening for a reason. It's coming onto my path as an awakener. That's what these experiences are. They're awakeners. They like snap you out of your illusion. They force you to look at yourself and to understand what you're creating in your life. Why are you participating in these things? Why are you investing your energy in these kind of dynamics? If it's so out of alignment with your integrity, if it's so out of alignment with what will truly give you happiness, why are you engaged in the dance? And so there's a lot of this really being aware of the self, doing the self-reflection, and also having a new understanding of that person that's across the table from you, who may have been an asshole, a real asshole. And you have to come to a place of understanding that that's nothing that you need to personalize, and having a level of compassion, that runs along bhakti lines, where you can understand that this person and these difficult experiences they brought your way, they too are a gift. A wicked blessing in some cases, but they're a gift because they awakened something in you. So if we can connect more with this kind of energy, that's the energy of temperance. That's what we really need right now. It's like, on one hand, we have the opportunity, all right? And the opportunity is that Six of Wands energy. It's overcoming all that was holding us back, all the limitation, and it's us rising up into our glow up, basically, and that glow up's going to look different for everybody, but it's arriving at a place of feeling really fulfilled and content, big Nine of Cups energy, kind of holding that center point. But, that center point is the point of balance. And we're looking at Libra. So it's like, yes, I can have this victory. I can have my wish come true. I can have my glow up. I can have my time to shine. I can have my time to be seen. I can have my time to be recognized for all I brought to the table. Like, this is a really good energy, I know my Libra sons are feeling this. I know you're feeling the buildup of this energy. I mean, I've just been feeling like everything is just getting so much lighter. It's getting so much lighter and so much more like airy, and like that feeling of just, it's a very expansive, like internal freedom. And maybe that's because I know how to work with that Uranus energy. I can work with that energy that's kind of out of pocket, I think some of the best things that happen in life happen through these wild challenges, where you're like, how am I going to pull this off? It's like it's a test of your commitment to what you want to see manifest in your life. How bad do you want it? And that's kind of what's being put on the table right now. That's what this lunar cycle is issuing. How bad do you want it? Do you know how you have to show up to receive what you want? Are you even open to receive? Do you have work you need to do around? Are you moving around guarded? If you're still blaming somebody, for how your life has turned out, if you're still blaming somebody for what they did to you, you're not in a position to receive yet. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And when people show you who they are, trust them, So what's holding you in that position of continuing to blame? It's, if you really look at the heart of it, it's about wanting to have control in the situation, wanting the other person to, make up for their actions, wanting them to respond to you in the way that you wish they would respond, but you can't control how somebody else moves. You can't. So any kind of controlling patterns right now are going to backfire on every level. You got to just accept things as they are at this time. And you have to be able to move into a place where there can be this balanced perspective, where you're not just like blaming it all on this other person, but understanding that relationship, whether it's between two people that are in love with each other, or two people that are in lust, or whether it's in a family dynamic or between friends, this person is your mirror, and you're doing healing work together. And yes, it even happens just in everyday so-called commonplace exchanges as you move throughout your day, running your errands, encountering people at your work. It's about how you show up in life. And how you show up in life is going to be how you see other people show up for you. They're going to reflect something to you about that. And if you're running into resistance, you're finding a lot of gridlock in your relationships, it's about sinking in for a moment and stop making it about the other person, sinking in yourself and asking yourself, what's coming up in me? Why is this coming up in me? Why do I feel so activated? Why do I want to engage in this? Like, I'm very upset with this person, but why do I want to keep kind of like going over the same old ground, like running this issue into the ground. Why do I want to do that? What am I getting out of this? What part of me is being affected? Guaranteed, a lot of it is going to be rooted in childhood. You know, there's a lot of childhood stuff that we're wrapping up here with this cycle. We're really moving into a place of it's like brand new, clean template, fresh energy. If you really want to step into the opportunity that's on offer, and it is a big one, it is. It's that 10 of Cups energy. It's that 10 of Pentacles energy. You know, it's that big Empress, big Emperor energy. It's the High Priestess, the Magician energy. It's all on offer. It's all there. But you have to be willing to do what it takes to step up into it. And that means letting go right now. Oh, it's so tricky. It means letting go right now and giving it over to Temperance, okay? Giving it over to Temperance. It's time to balance these energies. Temperance has 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot on terra firma, 1 foot in the water. You know, I've had so much of this like message coming forward in my readings about this balancing point, you know, the in-between space, the liminal space. That's where all the magic happens. And that's where we are right now. We are in the liminal space. We are in the in-between space. Things are going to look a lot different when we pop out the other side of this lunar cycle, okay? Consider this lunar cycle a liminal space, and that solar eclipse leads up right on Samhain. Talk about a liminal space. The veil is going to be getting thinner and thinner and thinner, and I'm sure if you've been tapping into the energy, you already felt it coming in earlier. Do get in touch with your ancestors, you know, be mindful of your ancestral roots. Do get in touch with roots, spend time with the trees, you know, giving stuff over, letting go. Also pay your respect to the earth and the way the earth always supports you. It's a really important piece. It'll help you move in harmonious flow with the fall season and letting go, you know, offer up some mead to some roots of a tree, of an old growth oak, you know, or willow. Work with that Dionysian energy, you know, bring in some wine libations. Make sure your ancestors are getting their libations too. I feel like this piece is really important, and spending time actually connecting with the energy and the flow of the season and looking how beautiful and how graceful and what a wise teacher nature is in the way it just gives over so effortlessly and with such grace and beauty what needs to be shed. Just look at those amber leaves. It's just this beautiful surrender, giving over, you know, giving over, giving up the fight. A lot of this has to do with the toxic behaviors, the toxic patterns, the dysfunctional patterns, the codependency, the attachment, the fear. You know, we're being presented a choice here. The focus is on love in front and center, and whatever your relationship to love is. But what we're looking at and what we're being given the opportunity to temper are the ties that bind us to that which needs to be healed, the trauma bonds. Okay? We are needing to transform this energy, and please, this is where the compassion piece comes in. I just heard like sympathy for the devil on the real, okay? Check out the Rolling Stones, Sympathy for the Devil. Give that song a listen, okay? It's like a big collective message. But if you notice, look at your mirror. They're chained with you. You know, they're chained with you. So you can't put the focus on them in this situation. You have to focus on yourself and setting yourself free. That's so important right now. It's so essential right now. You both need to get free. And can you find compassion in that? Like, this person's in this and struggling with me too, in their own way, even if they are acting out in really destructive manners. Can you imagine their struggle? Do you know? Can you sink into that a little bit? we're really being asked to move into that place of ahimsa, where it's really about that higher level of compassion, Kuan Yin, Bodhisattva kind of compassion. It doesn't mean that you have to have this person in your life. It doesn't mean that you have to make it acceptable what they did to you, how they showed up, how they treated you. It doesn't mean you need to reunite with them. In fact, being really, truly loving in your situation, depending on what you're dealing with, may be to lay down firm boundary. And that's what's needed for both of you. Love is showing up as the moment calls for, without attachment to what you hope it would be. It's about being in alignment with your truth and understanding that this person across from you, no matter what the experience has been, they too are struggling. They are struggling, and they too are bound by this. If you've been in an unhealthy dynamic, they're struggling too. So it's more about moving to that middle point where you can understand that, okay, this is not just all them. And the more you kind of deflect that, the more that you're going to be bound in the situation. So it's a big part of letting go, turning over, and tempering yourself, finding the balance within yourself, and be mindful of your actions, how you're moving forward at this time in the pursuit of what you want. Big 9 of Cups energy, right? Wish fulfillment energy. And 9 of Cups, everybody loves to see that card show up. But, the thing with the 9 of Cups is it can be gluttonous. It can be greed. It can be wanting what you want, no matter who it affects, no matter how it hurts anybody else. It can be selfishness. It can be grandiose egocentricity, thinking it's all about you. And oh well, if I, went back on what I said, or, oh well, if you feel left out in the cold, that's your problem. I got what I want. It can be that energy. So it's about finding the balancing point between that. Where are your wishes coming from? How are you moving to, get your wish? Are you moving in a way you feel proud of? Can you say that honestly in your heart? Have you been honest with people in your life? Have you been in integrity? Have you been in alignment? This is what we're all looking at. We're all looking at this. And a good clue is if you're moving into this cycle right now and you're starting to feel lighter and brighter, then I'm guaranteeing you, you're in the energetical frequency of the blessings of this cycle. You'll be feeling this lightness, this lightening, this like expansion. It's more like, instead of feeling tied up and constricted, you're feeling like, whoo, yeah. It's like, I just got out of the trenches. You'll feel that exuberance building. You'll feel your enthusiasm building. But those of you who have been in that 7 of Swords, I'm going to just get what I want to get. And I don't fuck all of you. I don't care how it affects you. If you've been moving like that, you haven't cared about who you've been hurting, you might be feeling kind of heavy. You might be feeling kind of heavy right now. With this, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it energy. Some of you moved like that in relationship. You went after somebody who is already, in a relationship, or you stepped out on a relationship, or you misrepresented yourself to someone, and then you got your wish, got what you wanted, and now you're realizing that you're really bound to some fuck shit. You're bound to something that actually isn't what you want. It feels like a trap. It's like a gilded cage. There's definitely this energy front and center right now. And right now we're having to hang out and see which way judgment flows. We're going to know as we move through this cycle. You will know which way judgment is flowing, because You're going to feel the shift energetically. You're also going to see it playing out in your life and the opportunities that are coming forward for you. All right. You know, this is really about we're integrating the emotions and our intuition with our ability to act. You know, with this Queen of Cups energy to the King of Wands energy. This is about alchemizing our emotions. Again, it's reflected in that Temperance card. In the Temperance card, they're balancing water and fire. The angel is balancing water and fire. We got a balance of feminine, masculine, Queen of Cups, water energy, King of Wands, fire energy. This is symbolizing the alchemy work we need to do within ourselves when our actions reflect where our hearts are at, when our actions are informed by our intuition, not by the mental contortions of greed or gluttony or unhealthy attachment or patterns that we're playing out from our past through our conditioning, from our traumatic backgrounds, from our backgrounds of being abused, from our backgrounds of being abandoned, or our backgrounds of just feeling like you never had any support, like you were on your own. There's so many different ways it plays out when we're looking at the deepest wound of the self. Okay, but we're balancing these energies. We're harmonizing these energies. Fire sign collective, front and center. Okay, when I call out the signs, this is any placement, any strong placement in the chart. All right. Sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node. And also we're going to throw Mercury and Mars into the mix for that because there's a lot going on right now. So don't get too hung up on the signs, but just know, you know, these are the kind of energies that are front and center. So we got Aries, Leo, Sagittarius with the fire sign collective. And then we got Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio with that Queen of Cups energy. Okay. And it's the balancing point in between, right? High Priestess. We're being asked to do this. We are being asked to move into that place of temperance where we can have a foot in both worlds, where we can be informed by our souls, even as we're moving through material reality, where we can be the balancing point in between, where we're not in the past and we're not in the future. We are riding the hedge. We are in the present moment. It's our point of power. And this is where all the magic happens. This is where all the magic happens. This is where you're going to find synchronicities lining up. This is where you're going to find your guidance. The more present you can be right now, this is where you're going to see everything you need to find your way forward. It's like breadcrumbs being left by spirit on your path. Those of you who work with angel energy, who work with the angelic realm or fairy realm, you're going to be finding the synchronicities, the guidance, the activity picking up big time. You're going to find the downloads coming in. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to go through spiritual transformations during this time. There's going to be a lot of people opening up to their gifts. They're the gifts that we all have, okay? What I do here is not special. I get out of my own way. We all have this ability. It's all one energy. You have this ability too. You have this ability to read too. You have this ability to intuit too. You have the ability to get the download. You just need to get out of your own way. And what I'm getting is it's like this blockbuster energy that's going to come in and it's going to blow through your internal blocks. It's going to blow through those blocks in the chakras. It's going to clear the channel. A lot of you are going to be opening up psychically. A lot of you are going to have guidance coming in. A lot of you are going to be experiencing an increased activity in your dream life. And your dream life is so important right now because as you start to become more conscious of your dream life and the way the archetypal imagery is speaking to you, it's going to allow you to dream in waking life and become that high priestess and move into the magician energy using this wand that has been informed by your spirit, by your intuition, by the synchronicities, by the guidance that has come in to manifest your vision. Oh, bottom of the deck energy, the magician. I can't make it up. This is like big alignment energy. Okay, big alignment energy. And that's the thing with Rifinus, asteroid 3. Let's see, what is it? 3, 4, 6, 8, 8, 9. It comes up to 11 in numerology. It's big alignment energy. And the alignment happens within, and then it happens without. There is such an opportunity to step up to that new level of potential. There is that opportunity to step up to the Empress, to step up to the Emperor, to step into the High Priestess, to step into the Magician. And yes, I made the distinction between up and in for a reason. Really sit with the workings of those energies. It's about integrating the 4 elementals right now. It's about integrating the swords, integrating the thoughts, rewiring the thoughts, becoming more aware of how you use your thoughts, how you use your words, the power of your words. What words do you choose to focus on? Who are you listening to right now? What words do you allow in your space? What kind of books are you reading? Are you reading any books? Where do you spend your time online? What content are you taking in? They form your thoughts. It's an important piece. Some need to do a detox. Not be spending so much time hanging around with people or in places where it's just death. It's just filling the mind with garbage, and then these become things, thoughts become things, creating distortions in our life. We're ending this cycle. You have to take accountability for your thoughts. Thoughts are things, and they carry the weight of responsibility. What mindset are you showing up with? It's time for all of us to look at this. How are we speaking? How are we communicating? How are we making contact with each other? Right? And also being able to use that swords energy, Queen of Swords style, Libra style, Justice style, to cut off what doesn't serve, to put an end to what is unjust, to speak the truth, to hold that line of balance, right? Okay. And then it's working with the wand energy. What lights you up? What gets you off? What excites you? What makes you feel alive again? What is your fuck yes? This is what you need to align with. Because don't go for maybe or that'll do. That's all right. No, what is your fuck yes? When you connect with this energy of enthusiasm, when you feel it like the butterflies stirring inside, you feel excited again. That's when you know when you're aligning with what you're meant to do. Whether it's going to talk to a certain person or traveling to a certain location or moving to a new place, starting a new career line, entering some study, exploring your spirituality. What is your fuck yes? Because it's time to remember the thing that gives you your mojo. When you connect with your fuck yes, when you connect with your enthusiasm, that's when you get in your mojo. That's when you're connected to your power. That's when you're in your element. That's what fuels your fire. Then you can wield that wand. You can direct it masterfully. Because you're creating from that place of stepping into the creator. That place of excitement and vision and purpose all come together and align. And then the cups energy, the ability to receive. And so many are struggling with this right now. The ability to receive. You got to move the blocks out of the way. If you're looking back at the past, and that's where your focus is, and if you keep going over what didn't work or how you didn't get your way or whatever the issue is, you are blocking your blessings. You are crossing yourself, and you are going to miss this opportunity. You are going to miss this opportunity. And that could very well look like initially you getting your wish. And what you're reflecting on, looking back on what you think you want, you get it, and then you realize it's a trap. That's that devil energy. Devil is crafty. Devil is tricky energy, right? It's trickster medicine. Again, it's coming on the path to awaken you. Be mindful of what you're wishing for at this time. It's significant. This is a brand new cycle we're entering with the full energy. Look at all this heavy hitter energy on the board. Major cycle. We're heading out on that fool's journey. And yes, it's so important. Connect with that yes. Connect with that sense of freedom. Connect with that hopefulness. Keep your head to the sky, Let the spiritual guidance come in. Find the humor. Be playful, enter that spirit. Let this light build in your life. Let this light and this joy build in your life. But remember where you came from. Look where you're going. You're meant to marry these two. It's this unification point, okay? You can't just come from your heart and move through life blindly. You also have to incorporate, wisdom from your life lessons, what you've learned, the medicine of those experiences. But there's times you need to slip off the cliff, man. And if it happens, it happens. It happens. That it's everything you need in that fall. And you will be caught in the end, There will be a landing. There will be a soft landing in the end if you're able to surrender to the experience and not fight it. If you do find yourself slipping off a cliff, and some will. Some were impulsive. If you're too impulsive at this time, if you're impulsive and you're just acting out of your own gratification, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult when you get to the end of this cycle. And some of you will be acknowledging the reality of that as things roll out through this cycle. It all just depends. Our blind spots are going to be illuminated. We're going to be seeing what we couldn't see before. That's what a major, closing up of an eclipse cycle is all about. It's like, okay, what you couldn't see before, now you're going to see it. And this initial eclipse cycle was brought in all the way back in April. Okay. So this is coming to a close. What you couldn't see in April, you're going to know by now, by the time we close this out with that solar eclipse on the 25th of October, right? This is coming in. We are moving away from the old energy. But we see, you're still carrying your swords forward with you. And if you carry your swords forward with you, remember, thoughts are things. They carry the weight of responsibility. You're going to continue to feel responsible for upholding the story of the past. It doesn't really let you move into the new potential, the new energy. And a lot of this has to do with just being so afraid of security. You just want to feel like, you have an understanding of why things turned out the way they did. Somehow that would make you feel more safe, or you're trying to, like, in some cases, hang on to a situation because it does give you security. And what you truly want to do, it feels like a big fucking risk to you. It feels scary. It feels like taking that leap off a cliff. Like, you don't want to be like Icarus, who wanted to learn how to fly and went too far and got up to the sun and found his wings burned and, plummeted, plummeted to his defeat, for his vanity. All right. But, that's what having an open heart is all about. An open heart is trusting. And it's not arrogant. It's not about control. It's about trusting that what's meant for me, what's right for me will come my way. And if I'm feeling lit up by something, and if spirit is really directing me, and this is in alignment with my integrity, and I'm just holding on to something because it's safe or gives me a sense of security, which is an illusion. It doesn't exist. There's no safe spaces. Not when it comes to love, not when it comes with aligning to the heart. Love is an outlaw. Love is an outlaw, you know? It requires you to be all in, and anything less than all in ain't it. If you're struggling to make a decision, anything less than all in ain't it. Keep that in mind, man. But those of you who do align with your heart and what it's telling you to do, those of you who align with the work of this moment, you know, those of you who are willing to go out on a limb, take a risk because it's what speaks to your soul, you're listening to your spirit's directive. Look at what it leads to. All right, look at this. Look at this. Pre-Empress energy, being in your element, being in that place where you can grow from your own resourcefulness, your own creativity, your own gifts. You're in that place of alignment within yourself. And because of this, everything is abundant. This is finances really flowing and not just coming in and giving you that sense of stability, a foundation to really build a future upon that is going to bring a lot of happiness into your life. But you're loving what you're doing. You're doing work that inspires you. You're working in a way that feels in alignment with your truth, okay? And you're feeling yourself. This is like big glow up energy. You feel complete in yourself. It's not about needing anybody to complete you at that point. It's not about being in a codependent place. This is very much like emerging into that spirit of selfhood. You know, big Artemis vibes, you know? Really stepping into that place of wisdom and selfhood and knowing how to manifest your own field of dreams. And then it brings the fulfillment. The 9 of Cups that has been holding the energy jumps up to the 10, that place of total fulfillment. Happiness, the promise that's on the other side of all the hard work you did, and somebody to celebrate it with. Somebody to celebrate it with, somebody to build with this Ace of Pentacles spring timing card. What we are gestating now is going to be so important because it's what's going to be evident in what sprouts forth and comes through breaking that ground. You know, after Persephone has been down with Hades, you know, doing all the healing work, doing all the integration work, and learning so much about love, right? Persephone comes into that place of full empowerment, integration in and of herself. She sprouts like a beautiful, thriving blossom waiting to just like come into bloom and share so much beauty with the world as core in the spring. This is like the liminal space in between. It's that same journey reflected in you. It's all about you coming into bloom. This is big glow up time. This is big glow up time. That's the energy we're moving into. But it does require, you know, getting to the other side of this. 10 of Swords, man. There cannot be a new beginning without an ending. This 10 of Swords, 10 of Cups, is saying, look, this is what's on the other side of the ending. Stop allowing yourself to be a fucking pincushion and be a martyr to this pain and what you went through. You get to choose. It's a choice. It's a choice. Be empowered in your choice. Be careful what you wish for. What do you want? Do you want to stay in this place? Lying down, face down, swords in your back, feeling betrayed, feeling like you just can't get up again? Or are you going to rise? Are you going to rise up out of that? Are you going to take the risk to open your heart, to believe that things can be better, that there's some kind of beauty that came out of what you went through, that you can believe and love again. What are you going to choose? Are you going to choose fear? Or are you going to choose love? It always comes down to this choice. It always comes down to this choice. Queen of Swords. The Lady of the Hour, Libra sign collective, front and center. Look at that. The motion with the hand. Here, I'll lend you my sword. Cut that shit. You know, cut your ties to that shit. Set yourself free. Live out your truth. Be true to you. Don't try to make others, see your truth, right? It's really time to move away from this energy of acting impulsively, nurturing the wound, staying in the place of the Three of Swords, the heartache. The movement forward is all about this, okay? It's all about accepting that you have learned all there is to learn in this situation. And it's time to move forward to the path of heart. So lean into your heart. What does your heart tell you to do? This is the basis of the choice. And it will require your strength. It will require that you overcome the challenges of the past through embodying that Empress energy, right? But to do so with gentleness and with compassion. With compassion. There's no force here. There's no control. Look at the balance. The infinity symbol hanging like a halo. Wreath of victory on the head. That core energy. I'm feeling that energy, that transformed Persephone energy. And it brings you justice. It brings you balance. It brings you the turn in fortune you were hoping for with the Wheel of Fortune. What's it going to spin? It's like a roulette wheel. Is it going to be fate or destiny? It's up to you. Invoke that temperance energy. Find the balance. Trust divine timing. Follow the signs. Follow your heart. Follow your fuck yes, and you'll find out. You know, this is what it's about right now, making the choice. Are you going to choose growth or are you going to choose to stay stuck? Okay. It's about finding the balance right now that gives you the power to wield all you've learned through integrating all the lessons of those elementals and moving towards your brand new beginning, the new cycle, where you get to be the initiator. What do you want it to look like? Only you can decide. Only you can choose. I don't know why. I'm just getting the urge to just pull one of these. So I'm just going to pull just one. I'm just going to do a cut of the deck. The arcane bullshit deck. I love this deck, but I'm feeling this kind of spicy flow coming in. So I want to go ahead and go with it. We got the pie night in reverse, okay? You know, pie makes me think of pie in the sky. And this piece came in the beginning, right? About be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. So really consider this, is what you're wanting this pie in the sky fantasy? Are you deluding yourself? Are you operating out of that Seven of Cups energy where you're just being enamored by the glamour of all the options? It's important to just like get that, flip it up and reverse it, right? Just do a little bit of hanging in the balance for a while, like that hangman. Do some listening this cycle as you move through. Really weigh your choices. Find the center point. What are you invested in? Does it feel in alignment with your heart? Does it feel alignment with your soul? Because remember, pie crust promises are made to be broken. There's this piece of being very mindful about how you move forward. And turning around this feral nerd behavior, where you just kind of go for the thing that just doesn't feel quite right, feels kind of awkward. It never really lets you be who you truly are. You always kind of feel uncomfortable, but maybe you're just, wanting to keep things light and breezy and just have sort of superficial connections with people and play this sort of role so you can find the instant gratification in the moment, but it never delivers anything deep and meaningful. There's a lot of interesting energy on deck for sure, but it's all about making the choice, making the choice. Fear, love. 55, 55 on the clock when I said that. You got to be true to yourself. Where there's no truth, there's no love. So you got to be true to yourself. You got to be true to yourself. Don't try to play a role just to fit a mold because you think that's what's going to lead you to happiness. Really get in touch with yourself. Listen to the guidance that comes in. And even if it makes you feel like a little nerdy, even if it makes you feel like you're a little awkward, to be the beginner again is a little awkward, right? But better to release your fears around doing something unconventional or going in an unexpected direction or changing your mind to be more in alignment with what really feels like, that place of home in your heart. Much better to go there than to be stuck, stuck in a mold that you outgrew a long, long time ago. So be wise with your wishes. There's a lot in favor of them coming true.